Good morning from the Alton Towers Resort. You're watching Adventure Planet, where today I am back here for day one of the 2024 season. Yes, parks across the UK are starting to reopen again now for their new season, and it is absolutely fantastic to be back after what always feels like a particularly long out-of-season period. A couple of months ago, I done my last full park vlog at Legoland Windsor, and yeah, those couple of months really do drag, so it's fantastic to be back. We're going to be heading into the park today, checking out all those 2024 updates and refurbishments, checking out the new merchandise, reporting on ride operations and availability, which hopefully is going to be a lot better than it was for opening day 2023, as I do remember them being quite poor actually for that opening day of that season. So hopefully an improvement there as well. But of course the main draw for today is the reopening of Nemesis, the 30-year-old B&M invert, which has spent the last 18 months getting essentially a full retrack and retheme. That reopens today as part of Nemesis Reborn. So we'll be checking out all that, the entire Forbidden Valley area as well, checking out all those changes and reporting it to you right here in this very vlog. Now, if you want to come down to Alton Towers and experience all this for yourself, you're looking at £35 for entry online in advance, and it's £10 to park your car here, which is an increase of about £3. It was £7 last year, and yeah, they've bumped it up to £10, which is a little bit naughty. It's getting quite expensive to park your car at the Merlin parks lately, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Park hours today, 10 a.m. through until 8 p.m, and that's all part of Alton After Dark, which happens today, next Saturday the 23rd, and the last Saturday of the month, the 30th, which allows you to get in some night rides, which is really good to see, and I hope is something that not just Alton Towers but other parks across the UK expand on. As of now, usually the only opportunity you get to do some night rides is of course at Halloween, so it's nice to see them kind of opening the park a little bit later on. So let's head on into the park today, starting with Tower Street, and we'll see just what all those changes for 2024 are all about. Let's go. And here in the entrance plaza of the resort then, Nemesis Reborn taking center stage on that advertising. And I gotta say, it does look great. The marketing for this has been absolutely phenomenal. I really can't wait to get back into Forbidden Valley a little bit later on in this video to check all of that out. You've also got a magnified version of the park map here. Paper park maps are back again this season, and I gotta say, I kind of like it. I like what they've done this year. There is an excess of greenery, but yeah, I quite like it. You got the gist of the park there, and yeah, I do think it's one of the better park maps that they've done for this season. And of course, you've still got the blue corkscrew track here. Still wish they had kept it yellow, but I guess, of course, to theme in better with the entrance plaza, it needed to be repainted blue. But it is still great to see it again. What's not great to see again, though, are those security tents. Yeah, back for another season. I say it every time, I really do think it detracts from the entrance here of the resort. This really does look absolutely fantastic when these tents are not in the way, so it is a shame that they are still here. But of course, safety is paramount, and there's not really many places that these could be moved to, so I suppose here they have to remain, which is a little bit of a shame. But maybe one season they'll find somewhere else for them to go, and we can actually see this main entrance plaza in all its glory once again. Let's head on into Tower Street. And here we are on the other side of the entrance turnstiles then, and straight away on approach to Tower Street, you've got all the marketing here for Nemesis Reborn, including all the Reborn colours in this bunting with the logos up there. That looks really cool. And you've also got the banners here as well, which looks great, and some theming here as well. You've got the fuel canisters, fuel drums there, the ammo crates and stuff. Yeah, looks fantastic. And of course the Phalanx logo here as well. Yeah, as soon as you get into the park, I'll tell you what, the marketing for Nemesis Reborn really has been phenomenal. I mean, it's essentially a 30-year-old ride. It is just Nemesis in a different color, really, not to take too much away from it. But the marketing drive for the ride itself really has drummed up excitement to extraordinary levels. You know, including me as well. I can't wait to check it out. Back over at Forbidden Valley, it's going to be fantastic. But here we are in Tower Street. Looks beautiful as always. All the colors, the yellows, the blues, the greens, the pinks, all looks really nice. And yeah, it's been a while actually since I've last came here to Alton Towers. I didn't come for Christmas last year, as unfortunately there wasn't too much going on. Obviously Christmas 2022, you had all the market stalls at the back here. You had, of course, Lightopia. For 2023, that never really happened. And considering Alton Towers is a 2.25 hour drive away from me, it was a little bit of a long way to come for essentially just some nice theming on Tower Street. Tower Street itself did look really good. You had the big Christmas tree here as always, but then that was essentially it. It was otherwise really, really bare. Some bits had moved to the hotel, but yeah, just not enough of a draw to bring me down for Christmas. So the last time I visited Towers was actually Oktoberfest. So yeah, it's been a while since I last visited, back in September. And here we go, look at this. Look at the little frogs with their phalanx gear on. Fantastic. I love that, that looks great. And we got the ducks here as well. Yeah, you'd enjoy a ride on Nemesis Reborn, wouldn't you? Yeah, I bet you would. These look great. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, while we're here in Tower Street, I figured what we'd do first off for the vlog is head into Towers Trading, which of course is where you can get the majority of the merchandise in the park. And now this actually gets really, really busy towards the end of the day and actually starts to ramp up the further through the day you go. So I figured if I get in there now, cover off the new bits of merchandise for 2024 while it's not very busy, that will give me a good stead to get this out of the way first thing in the day. So let's head on in, check out the new merch. Hopefully we've got some new Nemesis Reborn stuff in here as well. Let's go take a look. And starting off the merch in Towers Trading then with this pretty cool hoodie. I quite like that. Alton Towers logo on the front there. You got your zip pockets. Yeah, it's actually really nice, that. £45 for that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Keep your phone and other bits really safe when you get on those coasters. A little bit of a change around for the merch this year as well. You've got 13 and the Smiler stuff over in this corner now, along with some bits for the Wicker Man there, all your shirts and your hoodies and your caps. All looks really cool. Got some of the retro style shirts here. Quite like that Katanga Canyon one. None of that is new though. That was all here last season. What is new though for 2024 is the Alton Towers colouring book. Yeah, I've had a little flick through this and it mostly consists of ride logos. You've got some coaster trains in there, the towers themselves are in there. So yeah, if you've got some coloured pencils, get yourself an Alton Towers colouring book. Colour away for 2024. Yeah, there's no Nemesis Reborn merch in Towers Trading, unfortunately. I'm assuming that that's going to be over at the Forbidden Valley shop. But you have got the Cursed Alton Manor stuff in here now, which on opening day 2023, all this was over at the Attic of Antiquities. They've now got some bits over here in Towers Trading. Yeah, it's all really nice. Some more Smiler merch here. The Smiler Monkey. And some Smiler and 13 merchandise on this back wall here. Nice Hex resin here, which we'll talk more about Hex a little bit later on. Your 13 mugs. Some more Wicker Man bits here as well. Yeah, that one's quite nice. Nice and embroidered logo there. Some more mugs. They have got some retro Nemesis merch in here with the Phalanx logo and the Nemesis logo itself, but no Reborn stuff. You've got Subterra here with the mugs and the water bottles. And they also still stock some of the older events here, like Alton Towers Christmas and Oktoberfest. I did quite like this mug, actually. Of course, didn't have the opportunity to pick this up at Christmas last year. As like I say, I wasn't here. So, yeah, I might pick that up today at some point. I do quite like that. Yeah, of course, you've got the Lederhosen here as well. And some Scarefest merch still here as well with the spooky mugs. And what's also new for 2024 is this 13 pillow, which is quite nice. If you go down to the woods today, you better not go alone. With the 13 logo on the front. Yeah, that's quite nice, that. No price on it, though. Not quite sure how much that one is, but it is pretty cool. You know, usual duvet sets here as well. And some more bears. And the Wicker Man bear's back. And you've also still got some bits here from Galactica. Do like that blue, that's really nice. Got some Rita merch here with your usual mugs and monkeys. And Oblivion here as well. I have to be honest, I've not seen that Oblivion shirt before. I quite like that. Again, the Oblivion logo embroidered there. Yeah, that's quite nice. £25 for that one. Yeah, I do quite like that. And the black shirt with Don't Look Down. Really cool. And a quick look at the merchandise there then inside of Towers Trading. Not too much new for 2024 in there this season. However, I suspect most of the new merch will be found over in Forbidden Valley with that Nemesis Reborn branding on it. However, looking down towards the entrance there, here in Towers Street, still looks absolutely fantastic. And what's also great to see is Spinball Whizzer is back in action over the back there, and also actually Battle Galleons just across to the left is also up and in service today. Both of those rides were out of action on day one of the 2023 season, so in terms of ride availability, it's a good start here at the park. However, look at this. Wow, this grass has definitely seen better days. That's actually really strange considering nothing happened for Christmas here at the end of last season. Usually this is where you would have all the Christmas market stalls, and sometimes the grass can look particularly bad after that. They come in, they do, they kind of repair this grass for the start of the season. However, the fact that nothing happened at the end of last season for Christmas and it's looking this bad is a bit of a shame, really. Kind of takes away from the view of the towers across the back there, which do still look fantastic. Stage is still in place there though as well, which is used for events here at the park. And speaking of events, actually, they've dropped 2 of them for this season. Yeah, Festival of Thrills and Mardi Gras have both been dropped, which is a little bit of a strange decision really, because it now means that there's a several month wait until the first official event here at the park, which of course will be Oktoberfest in September. I kind of feel like, perhaps they should have dropped Oktoberfest and kept Mardi Gras. Then there wouldn't have been quite so much of a wait in between events. Alton Towers do tend to have little bits happening throughout the summer. Sometimes there's a vocalist on the stage or a band or two. However, it's not an official event. So quite a long time to wait for Oktoberfest, which, like I say, is a little bit of a strange decision. But it is what it is. Maybe they'll do something a little bit bigger for summer this year. As we head towards Mutiny Bay. We got all the Stitch plushies at the top there as well. 1 in to win, 1 ball £3, 4 balls for 10, 10 balls for £20. And yes, of course, the bone of contention for this season is of course the Sky Ride, which up until a couple of months ago was fully believed to be reopening for this season. However, Alton Towers have come out and confirmed that the Sky Ride is going to be closed for another season, which, that's a big shame, really. This is absolutely imperative for accessibility around the park, and the fact that it's closed again is a big shame. And I feel like this has been closed long enough now for there to have obviously been some kind of serious problem with this ride. Not quite sure what that could be for, or with, rather. I assume that there's a much bigger issue than what the park maybe originally thought for this ride. I wouldn't be surprised if the infrastructure for this all needs replacing, like the actual supports themselves going down towards the other stations all need replacing. It has to be more than a gondola issue or a cable issue. I suspect the problem is much bigger than the park originally thought. So that is out of action for another season this year. And Alton Towers being such a huge park, it is a great loss. And I really felt it last season, walking between all the different areas here. And, I don't really suffer from any mobility issues. If you do, the Sky Ride being closed again is a big loss here. As we walk over to Mutiny Bay, I think I'm definitely going to make my first ride of the day. Wicker Man, the 2018 GCI coaster. Yeah, I think for the Sky Ride here, these supports, I think all of these, or at least a few of them, likely need replacing. Maybe the foundations need looking at. It's obviously a huge problem for them to keep it closed for 2 seasons. Mutiny Bay with the audio playing. Hey! Got your Pokemon plush toys here. And heave-ho off to the left. No queue for heave-ho. Oh, as a matter of fact, it's not even open. I've just noticed that the ride vehicle's not even on. Well, there we go. There's your first ride that's not available for the start of the 2024 season. Heave-ho, the Rockin' Tug, out of action. Marauders Mayhem, though, in full swing by the look of it. The little teacup ride here. And there we are. Great little ride that. All looks nice and fresh. I do believe that the roof on this was actually rethatched last season. Still looks pretty good. And of course you've got the game stalls around here. Pirate's Quest. And the Eastern Express as well. And all the grabbers to the right. Oh, the little parrot animatronic's actually working as well. Haven't seen him working for a long time. Here in the main piece of theming here in Mutiny Bay. And there he goes. He's gone. All right, let's head over to Wicker Man and check out those queue times. Arr. And whilst you're here in Mutiny Bay, if you've not checked it out before, there is a sea life centre here. Shark Bait Reef actually stands on the side of the old 3D cinema. It opened back in 2009 and it's a good sea life centre that. If you've not done it before, definitely worth checking out. And here we are then, back at the Wicker Man, GCI's 2018 wooden coaster here at the Alton Towers Resort. It's currently a 60-minute wait, which, you know what, for the Wicker Man is absolutely fine. It may not be my favourite wooden coaster in the UK anymore since that retrack of Megaphobia in Oakwood, but it's still an absolute banger of a ride, this, with some great transitions and some really awesome theming. So yeah, 60 minutes, really can't go wrong. Let's jump on. Oh, and what an absolutely fantastic ride that was on Wicker Man. Absolutely love that ride. Unfortunately though, just as I joined the queue time went from 60 minutes up to 80 minutes. And yeah, it did take about that long as well. However, for the Wicker Man, it is still more than worth it. Absolutely fantastic wooden coaster that. Still not my favorite. I do still think the retrack of Megaphobia surpasses Wicker Man, but it's still a great ride. The both of them are very, very close. The only bad thing is Big Bob. He looks great with all the smoke effects currently, but I had heard that for 2024, the flame effects were going to be back. However, that was not the case, so hopefully that's something that happens over the next weeks and months, and they can bring those back for 2024. Heading into Katanga Canyon now then. This area opened back in 1992 and is actually originally themed as part of an African village. It's home to both the Congo River Rapids and the Runaway Mine Train, Alton Towers' oldest coaster. Yeah, the River Rapids opened back in 1986 and they were kind of re-themed and refurbished to fit into this area. And it's a great area, this. It looks great at night, the audio's fantastic. There's just one question though. Are the waterfalls on? Day one of 2023 they weren't. However, they did manage to fix them later on in the season. Are they going to be working for 2024? Let's go take a look. And there's your answer to that there. Not only are the waterfalls not working, but the ride itself is out of action with some particularly nasty looking water in the trough here. Yeah, like, you know me, if you've watched the channel for a while, you'll know my thoughts and my views on this ride. It is a ride that I think needs at least a serious refurbishment or replacing in its entirety. It's really not the best ride anymore. It's certainly not a river rapids in any way. It's more just a lazy river. But still, a down ride is a down ride. And, you know, on the first day of the season, you know I don't like to see that. It is a shame to see it like this. It's yeah, it's another ride that's not eating up that park capacity, and this is certainly in no way going to open today at any point. All the ride vehicles are stacked up, and this water is yeah, that needs completely draining out. So that's a ride that's likely not going to be open for at least the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. And with the river rapids closed, it would be rude to just walk through Katanga Canyon and not ride on anything, so let's get a ride on the Runaway Mine Train. Looks like the queue's pretty short for this one. Choo choo. And here we are back in gloomy wood for the curse at Alton Manor. And appropriately, it's just started raining. Unfortunately, we weren't expecting rain until around 3-4 o'clock. Looks like it started early. It's about 1 o'clock now. So yeah, a little bit of light rain starting. Hopefully nothing to ruin the day too much though. Just a 20-minute wait for the curse at Alton Manor, but it's great to see gloomy wood. And of course, Haunted Hollow looking busy again. Doesn't happen very often. It's usually pretty dead, if you excuse the pun. Love to see all the theming around here though. Doom and Sons, obviously, that's a nice little throwback to an old walkthrough attraction that used to be here at the park. Really, really nice to still see that here. And all the theming as well. Got the photo booth there. All the Curse at Alton Manor theming. Attic of Antiquities. And Coach House Confectionery, where you can still get your freak shakes. 20-minute queue time for this. Not too bad at all. Let's get on. Oh, it's good to have all the spooky audio and spooky lighting as well. And what's also good to see is that the smoke effects are still on here. Wasn't quite sure if they would be, but they are. All of this kind of hides all those pipes and all the tubing for the smoke effects. Yeah, that's good. It's one of those things that usually I wouldn't have expected to be working at the start of a new season. But it's good to see that they are. A little bit more of it wouldn't go amiss though. Yeah, these ones down here may not be working. It's still a nice spooky queue line though. Love the audio around here. All the gravestones. And from a capacity point of view, the queue does move quite quick for this ride. And I do really like it. I think they've done a great job with the re-theme of Jewel. I think it's a great ride. Oh, here he is.
Enjoy the pie.
Oh, thank you. Oh, there we are. Bit of a party going on. Liars.
Mobile phones and cameras is strictly forbidden in the manor.
And I've just had my ride on the Curse at Alton Manor then. Advertised queue time of 20 minutes, queued just 15. And you know what, since they rethemed that, it does appear to be quite divisive really. A lot of people kind of really preferred that interactive element of Jewel, but to be honest, I actually really like the Curse at Alton Manor. Yes, there's some dark areas that I feel could be filled in with something. However, I think the ride as a whole, the audio, the special effects and the creepiness of it all, I think is really, really cool. I never really felt very much for Jewel. I feel like a haunted house shouldn't really be interactive in any way. You should just sit there, take it all in, you know. So I think that ride is absolutely fantastic. Solid 8 out of 10 for me for that one. Anyway, the time is now. Let's enter Forbidden Valley and check out these changes. And I gotta say, I love this new entrance here. This looks fantastic. All the metal gating and the lights here. Phalanx facility taken over by the tentacles to become Forbidden Valley. That's great. Got the audio blasting out here as well. We've got some of the Phalanx members on site. Look at this. Looks like the tank has moved slightly as well. That used to be over here. That's just been moved just to here now. Still looking absolutely fantastic though. Love the Phalanx tank, it's great. Oh wow, check this out. Looks like the arcade is still having some work on it here just to the right. This is all obviously going to get refreshed, refurbished and rethemed into the area. Oh, here we go. The news is here. Look at this. It's all going on. Oh wow, look at that. No longer a Nemesis drill slash gun, whatever you thought it was. It's now this huge helicopter. That is an impressive prop. Look at that. That looks great. And yeah, as you can see, refurbishment work still going on here to the right. This looks absolutely wild. Wow. I gotta say, I wasn't too sure about what they were going to replace this with. I always did love the gun, or whatever it was, a drill. Hey, here we go. Nemesis has feelings too. All the protesting going on here. Wow. and the Nemesis containment zone. All the tentacles coming up, all the rock work here. This looks fantastic. This is a great prop. I'm really impressed with that. I can't get over the size of it. Here, look at this, live cargo. Hatchery. Here, look at that, they got the eggs in there. Absolutely brilliant. 30-minute wait currently for Nemesis Subterra. You got the tentacles going up the lamppost here as well. Phenomenal. You have still got the games just off to the right here as well. Genome Sequencing Lab. Lab Challenge. The games are still there, but they are new. And the little stall that was here has been completely removed. Later on in the season, it just housed some vending machines. That was around here. That looks like that's now gone. Nemesis Containment Zone, and there she goes. Absolutely fantastic. Incredible. What a great retheme this was. Look at the eye. Absolutely amazing. And yeah, I will say that straight away I've noticed that the roar is very much deadened. It doesn't quite have that same roar to it. However, look at this. Absolutely phenomenal. That eye is an amazing effect. Just down through the back there. We'll see if we can get a closer look at that a little bit later. Absolutely phenomenal. And these are the supports on this downward helix here that really had to be kind of beefed up to take that extra stress of the ride. 89 of 117 supports were completely replaced for this ride. Amounts to about 90%. Unfortunately, the trains were just a part refurb. I was kind of hoping for maybe, I don't know, the vane effect to also be on the train, perhaps down the restraints, or maybe a lighting package as well would have been nice. Unfortunately, feels like they cheaped out a little bit on the trains, but I gotta say, the actual track and the area so far is looking fantastic. Currently a 150-minute wait. But yeah, I love what they've done with this. And this tower here looks great. And the Nemesis Reborn logo there. And there she goes. And I feel that although this is a 3D printed sign on the Nemesis section, the Reborn part is actually flat. And I've got a feeling that it's only going to be a year or so and that Reborn will get painted over and it will just be Nemesis again. Love the new logo though. There's a good throwback to the original logo, that apart from the new section here with the eye, that looks really, really nice. 150 minutes wait though. I'll come back and get on this after I've checked out the rest of the area. But yeah, I really like this. It's really well done. That's going to look great at night. All new lighting has been fitted around the ride. And I suspect that's one of the reasons that today the park is open till 8 o'clock, so you can really kind of appreciate that. Oh, it's great to be back and to see this. It's felt like a lot longer than 18 months, I have to be honest. It looks fantastic. The new Nemesis monster itself is mind-blowing. All the little animatronic teeth, that kind of thing around the eye as well. Absolutely amazing. Let's take a further look around Forbidden Valley. And right opposite that downward helix of Nemesis Reborn, you've got the entrance to the Blade as well, the classic swinging ship here at the resort. Looks like that's undergone a little bit of a retheme as well. They've got the yellow and black stripes are back. That's good to see. Yeah, classic ride that. Do enjoy a ride on the Blade. However, today it really is all about Nemesis Reborn and Forbidden Valley that kind of surrounds it, if you like. A Nemesis creature is absolutely incredible. When you think months ago, when I kind of had those reservations about what they were doing to it and the color that they were painting it and all that kind of stuff, and you see it now and it just looks phenomenal. You got the photo pickup point just here on the left, and right in front of us here you got the Ground Command coffee outpost if you want to enjoy a nice coffee. Look at the station for Reborn, the containment unit. And look at this. Oh, please, Merlin, look after this one. For all that is holy, please look after this. You've done an absolutely phenomenal job. Please keep it up to scratch. Look at that. It looks absolutely awesome. These effects here, the coloring. Oh, it's absolutely wild. You've got the tentacle going up the building here. Nemesis surveillance. Absolutely brilliant. And again, you got the vehicle down here just off to the left, wrapped up in that red tentacle again. I gotta be honest, as a whole, this retheme, I wasn't expecting too much, but they have gone above and beyond here. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. 4 inversions on this ride, 50 miles an hour. All the smoke effects. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. And then of course down here you've got Supply Store Bunker 94. Now this is the shop, the Nemesis Reborn shop, where you can get all your merchandise from, but I'll tell you what, look at the queue for it. Wow, that's almost as long as the ride itself. And also something to note, of course, is the departure of Funkenfly. That used to be down here. Of course, the Retro Squad rides have now departed, which means X Sector is now home to just the 2 coasters, the Smiler and Oblivion. And of course, this is where rumors are floating around about Project Ocean, a new flat ride that will be in this general area of Forbidden Valley. Not too much is known about that, but yeah, it's time now for Alton Towers to really focus on those flat rides, because they are desperately lacking them now. I never had any love for the Retro Squad. However, now that they are gone, that's another 3 flat rides disappeared. So yeah, they do need to start focusing on replacing those very, very soon. But yeah, the queue for this though, wrapping all the way down here and back around. This is where it begins here. Wow, that's got to be a good 45 minutes just to get into the store. However, I'll definitely be picking up some merch if I can today. Let's head back over to Nemesis Reborn. Oh, and I absolutely love the new views that you can get around this ride. There's some great photo opportunities around here. And there she goes in the background. And at between 13 to 1400 riders per hour, it does eat people pretty well from a capacity viewpoint, this. However, those queue times are still really long right now. And in just 3 days' time, this will celebrate its 30th year on the 19th of March. Absolutely fantastic. All the audio and the sound effects. And of course, this brake run here now is now magnetic braking instead of the friction brakes, which should hopefully bring it to a much smoother stop. It is sounding a little bit squeaky though. That's surprising. And here we are then, right in front of that new eye of Nemesis, and it looks fantastic. Hey, the protesters are still out. Absolutely fantastic theming, and the acting around here is great. But you know what? Back in 1994, this coaster kind of tore up the rule book on what was possible with a roller coaster. It was Europe's first inverted coaster, manufactured by B&M, and it came with a fantastically exciting and immersive storyline and props and theming to kind of rival a Hollywood film set, really. It was fast, it was intense, and for that reason, it's a firm favorite among roller coaster enthusiasts worldwide. And today, we get back on the beast. Look at this. The theming, what they've done here is phenomenal. Let's join the queue. And in the queue line now then for Reborn, and check this out. Piece of the track coming up from the ground. That's a nice touch. Yeah, all this fencing has been redone here as well. All looks really nice. Audio around the queue line as well. I do like this. That is a nice touch. It's like it's coming out from under the ground. Absolutely fantastic. Queue's not looking too bad. It has dropped down to 90 minutes. So we'll get on, we'll see how long we're going to be queuing for this one. If it's only 90 minutes, I can take that. Oh, it looks phenomenal. And here is the new gun for Nemesis Reborn up here in the queue line. Looks absolutely awesome. This is going to look great. All lit up at night. You've got the ammo boxes down here. All the permanent lighting. That looks great. The size of it, the props do have an incredible scale to them. And that's definitely a gun, it's not a drill. And in terms of the queue line then, it is a lot better than it was before. The layout is fantastic, and the landscaping that's been done really does open up some fantastic photo opportunities of the ride. And you've got some nice touches and props around as well. However, something that I do hope they sort is this. Yeah, this is not too great. You've got all the view of the car park at the back here, which really does kind of take away from it. They need less of this type of fencing, this kind of wire fencing here, and more of this black wooden fencing that's going across the back here, just to kind of, you know, fully immerse yourself in the attraction. As yeah, all this really isn't that great. I'm sure all of this stuff will look a lot better over the coming months, but yeah, the actual view of the car park is not the best. And here's another really nice piece of queue line theming. Of course, we saw the piece of track right at the start of the queue. There's another piece here about halfway through, just over halfway, smashing into this shipping crate here, which looks pretty awesome, to be honest. All the incoming transmissions in there, the DNA sequences, all the phalanx advertising, and some more crates out the front here as well. It looks absolutely brilliant around the queue line, I have to say. However, notable by their absence, what hasn't returned are the waterfalls. And I gotta say, I'm not surprised. Of course, they ran into a lot of environmental concerns when those were in place back when the ride first opened in 1994. So it's no surprise that those have not made a return. However, I think the theming that we have got around the queue line more than makes up for it. And some fantastic views of the layout here. The new vertical loop, nice and chunky now, made up of 3 pieces of track, as opposed to just the 2 in the old ride. And it does look great, nice and beefy, as it goes around the overbank. Phenomenal. Oh, I've really missed Nemesis. Love the new theming over the back there as well with the helicopter. This one looking in much worse state than the one back at the entrance to Forbidden Valley. Looks like it's crashed. But the creature from up here really does look amazing. Look at this. Minutes later, after a 90-minute advertised queue time, they're getting them pretty accurate today. We're in the station for Nemesis Reborn, and look at this. This looks fantastic. All the veins coming through here. That looks incredible. Yeah, they've done a good job on the station here. Really do like it. All the lighting is phenomenal. Time dispatch sequence as well. And after 90 minutes of queuing then, for a 90-minute advertised queue time, I've just had my ride on Nemesis Reborn. And look, in its most simplest of terms, and not to downplay it in any way, this ride is just the same ride that you've known and loved over the past 30 years, albeit a lot smoother and with some additional smoke effects. However, the theming is so phenomenal, it makes it feel like a brand new ride. I mean, look at this. This is without question the best themed roller coaster experience in the UK. They've done an absolutely phenomenal job. Starting from the queue line, the new layout is great. The landscaping allows for some great photo opportunities of the ride layout. And then you've got those great touches with the pieces of roller coaster track hanging around, smashing through shipping crates, coming up from the ground and stuff, all kind of enveloped in that new remix soundtrack of the classic Nemesis theme. Absolutely fantastic. The station has been really well done as well, with the veins coming through the ceiling, the lighting effects, and with the dispatches nicely timed with those lighting effects and the audio as well. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, I wish they had had new trains with some kind of lighting package on there, maybe the veins coming through like the restraints kind of thing. That would have been cool. However, it's the return of an absolute classic. 3.5 Gs you pull on there, speeds of 50 miles an hour, and those four beautiful inversions, the corkscrew going into that 0G roll, going into the vertical loop, and then a corkscrew to finish. And those magnetic brakes are a lot better are a lot better than the friction brakes that it had before it. It's a phenomenal ride. Oh, Nemesis is back, and I'm so happy about it. Forbidden Valley as well. The theming extends all throughout there. They've done an absolutely fantastic job with the helicopters, all the new stalls, the merch stall, the eateries, the tentacles coming up from the rocks. It all looks absolutely fantastic. And look at this, they're still here. Still protesting. They don't like Nemesis being contained. That's the whole story here. It's being contained by the phalanx, experimented on, and she's back. She's mad, she's faster, and she's angry. And I'll tell you what, oh, what an experience. Nemesis is back, and I love it. And after a second ride on Nemesis Reborn then, I've decided to come down to Fountain Square to look at the facade of Hex, and that's all we're going to get, unfortunately, at the start of the 2024 season. Yeah, I actually realized it's almost 6 o'clock. I was so absorbed in the newly themed Forbidden Valley area that I completely forgot I was supposed to be filming a full park vlog today. So yeah, come down to Hex, and yeah, as you can see, unfortunately, it is closed. No opening date for this one. However, when it does open, it's supposed to have a new theming package on the interior. Vekoma Madhouse, this one, and it is disappointing that it's not open for the start of 2024. Of course, this didn't actually open for very long in 2023 before going down and being out of action for the rest of that season. So it is disappointing that the work has not gone into this all throughout 2023 and of course over the close season into 2024. But I am looking forward to seeing the changes when it does reopen. Let's just hope that when it does, it stays available for the rest of 2024 and into 2025 as well. Yeah, it's been a little bit problematic, that ride, for quite a while now. So hopefully they get Vekoma in, get fixed what needs to be fixed, so that it can be much more reliable in the years to come. But yeah, here we are in Fountain Square then. Just going to head on over to Dark Forest now and check out the queue times for both Rita and 13. And there goes Rita, the 2005 Intamin launch coaster with just a 20-minute wait time. Let's jump on. And just had my ride on Rita then. 20 minutes advertised queue time, waited about 25. And you know what? It's still got a good kick. It's got that hydraulic launch 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. However, it's been here since 2005 and it really was feeling like it today. Very jolty, very uncomfortable, not a pleasant ride experience at all, to be honest. Probably one of the worst rides actually that I've had on Rita in a long time. I do feel like something needs to be done to this ride in the near future. Either it's complete kind of destruction, if you like, and replaced with something else, or a retrack at the very least. Yeah, not a very comfortable ride at all. Gonna jump on 13 now. Advertised queue time just 15 minutes. Another coaster from Intamin here at the park, and this one was the world's first with that free fall drop. Let's jump on. And as we make our way down to the Alton Towers dungeon, the heavens have started opening here. The rain has finally got to us. It's come at the end of the day though, so it's not too bad. Yeah, the Alton Towers dungeon is actually going to be closing early this season and going to be replaced with hopefully a decent Scarefest attraction. So that will be really interesting. More news on that later on in the year. But yeah, I think it's about time that the dungeon does close. As nice as this facade looks with the fire effects there, you know, the torches and the logo, it looks good, but it's had its time. It's an upcharge. I've never been a fan of it, and I'll be glad to see it go. And hopefully once it is removed for that Scarefest attraction, hopefully the entire dungeon will be removed soon after, because of course this is the area that will become known as Project Horizon, which we know has actually been delayed. We were hoping to see work starting this year. However, that hasn't happened. And we do believe that it has been delayed. Alton Towers hopefully are going to be focusing on some new flat rides before really kind of getting the work started in this area. Hopefully it starts, you know, maybe towards the end of this year, perhaps 2025. But we were originally hoping for a 2025 opening, but that isn't going to be the case anymore. It's thought to be an enclosed coaster much along the same lines as Uncharted at Portaventura. So it'll be interesting to see if that does happen. That will be obviously much later in the future than was originally anticipated though. Just next to that area though, of course, the World of David Walliams, featuring Gangster Granny the ride. All looking nice and fresh in here. Of course, we still have the Royal Carousel and the only remaining traveling flat ride, which is of course the Mixer, the Twister, whatever you want to call them. It's Flavio's Fabulous Fandango. Not actually part of the Retro Squad, so that still remains here, even though the other Retro Squad rides have gone. Raj's shop off to the right there, and of course Gangster Granny a little bit further down, with no queue whatsoever by the looks of it. And as I've said in previous vlogs, this area as well, I think I think this needs the Thorpe Park Angry Birds Land treatment. I think it's overstayed its welcome now, to be honest. I'm waiting for this to be rethemed into something completely different. Yeah, I feel like it's aged quite heavily over the past couple of seasons. I think it's time for it to go, to be honest. It's still a nice little area. two rides at the back there do look really good, and Gangster Granny is still quite fun. However, the IP, I think, has outstayed its welcome, and something fresh needs to come in now. As much as I love these colourful houses up here. Let's go on to X Sector. A very wet X Sector. And a very wet Adventure Planet host. And we have arrived in X Sector here at the Smiler now, the 2013 Gerstlauer coaster with a world record setting 14 inversions and just a 20-minute wait time. I'm going to hop onto the single rider here, and then I'm going to get some food from Just Chicken because it smells absolutely phenomenal. And just had my ride on the Smiler then. Yeah, 20 minutes advertised queue time, waited just 5 in the single rider line, and I am absolutely soaked. The rain came down whilst I was on the ride. Thankfully it's eased off a little bit now, but yeah, that's painful. Never been on the Smiler before when it's raining. That hurt quite a bit. But yeah, it's not my favorite ride. Yes, it sets the record for the 14 inversions, an incredible number. However, as I've said before, that really is all that ride is. Yes, the theming is nice around it. I like the idea of the story behind it and the whole Marmalizer aspect. It's good fun, but yeah, the roller coaster itself, a little bit too inversion heavy for my liking. Anyway, in the rest of X Sector, of course, as I've said before, the Retro Squad rides have now gone. Spin Jam and Twistertron used to both be here in this area. They've now completely departed the park, but not only that, the areas where they were have now been completely fenced off, so you can't even get to that part of X Sector. It's looking much better in terms of less fairground rides, and it's now kind of getting that original theme back of the government sector, you know. However, yeah, desperately need another ride in this area now, as it feels very small, as I'll show you now. And there's the Smiler in all its glory, and of course just to the right of that is Oblivion as well, which I think has just gone down actually, as I've not seen a train for a good 10 minutes, so I think that's gone down currently. And then of course you have the mini games just on the right here, Challenge the Smiler, but then where Spin Jam and Twistertron used to be is now all fenced off here with this black gate, and as you can see behind it, just a big empty space. Nice moody lighting around Oblivion's overbank there, but nothing else behind it. It's all just completely blocked off and completely bare, which yeah, hopefully it doesn't stay like this for too long. Need a quick replacement in here, because just the 2 rides in X Sector now really isn't enough. We need something to take advantage of this space. And yeah, as you can see, Oblivion unfortunately has gone down. Apparently it's been down for the past 15 minutes. Hopefully it'll be back up soon, although there is only just an hour left of park time, just over an hour. So whether this comes back up into service, I'm not quite sure. Would have liked to have got a ride on it, only a 5-minute queue time. But if I have to miss this one today, then unfortunately that is the case. Might head on over to Forbidden Valley again now to check out all the lighting around Nemesis Reborn, because I'm sure with all that new permanent lighting, it's going to look pretty good. Let's go take a look. And whilst in X Sector, I thought I'd have a very late lunch. It's like 6:30 and this is lunch. I haven't eaten anything all day. Gone for the typical chicken tenders with fries, and of course to the Coke Zero just off to the right here. And this was £11 with my 20% discount, so that's definitely gone up over last season. However, it's nice and hot and I'm absolutely starving. Time to tuck in. And I've got to say, those chicken tenders were absolutely divine. Really, really nice. Heading back over to Forbidden Valley though, like I said, I thought I'd just stop off and take a look at Spinball Wizard. Hey! 2004 Mara Spinner. Currently with an estimated queue time of 15 minutes, although I got to say, I don't think it's that long. There's a few empty trains being sent around, so I won't be surprised if this is a walk-on. But up and in service on day 1 of 2024, which is good to see. Hey, great ride this. And let's also not forget CBeebies Land here at the park, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year and has a new character, Bluey, from the popular Australian program of the same name. Yeah, he's coming in a couple of weeks' time. Just the one roller coaster in this area, Octonauts Roller Coaster Adventure, manufactured by Zamperla. We have covered CBeebies Land in other vlogs, so do check those out if you've not already seen them. Unfortunately, CBeebies Land is now closed. Left this a little bit late in the day to get back and cover this, unfortunately. It's Forbidden Valley's fault. But yeah, unfortunately we've missed this one for today, so let's head on over back to Forbidden Valley and check out all that lovely permanent lighting. And just some shots of Forbidden Valley at night there then as I work my way into the shop here after having queued for almost an hour in the rain. I am absolutely soaked. But look at this in here. The model of the creature, absolutely phenomenal. I love this. Look at that. Yeah, I do think they should have had at least some of this merchandise here in this stall over in Towers Trade-In, which would have helped cut down that queue time quite considerably. However, it is what it is. They will move some of this merch over to Towers Trading at some point, probably in a couple of weeks or months' time. But yeah, some of the merch that they got here, I like this denim stuff here. It's throwback 1994, £70. Yeah, I do quite like that though. Retro Nemesis denim, very nice. Yeah, you got some of the normal Nemesis stuff here as well, £20. Love all the theming at the top here as well with the big eye there. You got your nice Nemesis hoodie there. And then the Reborn style for £22 with all the veins. Got your caps there. £15 for a cap. Yeah, not embroidered, which is a little bit of a shame. But you got your little hoodies there. And then your zip-up hoodies here as well. £100 for this. And that is not even embroidered either. That is just printed on there for £100. That is shocking. You got the eye on the back there again, just printed on there. That is quite insane pricing, Towers. Wow. I was not expecting that at all. Even if that had been embroidered, £100, that's a huge step up. Wow. Getting all the barrels in the top here. And the Nemesis Reborn t-shirts are over the back there. It's very busy in here. You got your sweets in here as well. And they did actually sell some Nemesis bolts as well, which have since sold out, which is a little bit of a shame. Love this model here. Of the 1994 trains. Look at that. That's great. Love that. 1994 to 2023. Great model. Very nice. There's a lot of retro stuff in here as well, like these Nemesis 1994 water bottles and the mugs. You got some Reborn trophy cups here, which are quite nice. There's some Reborn notebooks as well at the bottom, as well as your pin badges, pens, and your key rings as well. But I gotta say, on the whole, some Subterra merch in here as well. But yeah, overall, not very impressed with the merch for Nemesis Reborn, to be honest. A lot of it has sold out, but some of the stuff that I have seen is, yeah, it's not the best, and it's severely overpriced. I do like this denim, this is quite nice. If this had been a Reborn logo, that would have been a little bit more tempting. However, yeah, I think the merch could have been a lot better, in my opinion. I mean, this, I don't know, this is a little bit strange. No logo on there or anything, not even on the back, it's just the veins. And like I say, £100. for the hoodie over the back is just not good. Doesn't even have any pockets either. This one does, but only available in kid sizes. Yeah, this one here at £100 is quite shocking. Even £80 with your 20% discount is still too steep for what that is. And that's a real shame. I would have liked to have picked up some kind of Nemesis Reborn merchandise here today. But at those prices and that quality, I think I'll be giving it a miss. And that brings us to the end of the day. So with this awesome model here, which really is the best part of the shop, really is fantastic. It's time to close the vlog. And just outside the roller coaster restaurant now then, as I end the day here at Alton Towers. And yeah, it's been a shame about the weather. It really hasn't let up since kind of late this afternoon, which is a real shame. Kind of put a bit of a dampener on things, literally. Also, Nemesis Reborn did close at about 7:20 or so. Lots of people went in for their night ride, got it full to capacity, so that ride did actually close early. So unfortunately, didn't get a night ride in the end. Spent my time in the store, which, like I just said, was a little bit disappointing. Was expecting a lot more from the merch for Nemesis Reborn, sadly, and yeah, the prices for it as well, pretty extortionate, even with your 20% off on that Merlin pass. Overall though, the park has been great today. Operations and ride availability much improved on last season, which is great. However, it really has all been about Nemesis Reborn today and the retheme of not just that ride, but the Forbidden Valley area. And I have to say, it's been absolutely phenomenal. It's at times you don't believe that you're in a UK park, aside from the rain obviously. It really is that good. Like I said earlier, it's one of the best themed roller coaster experiences here in the UK, in my opinion at least. I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job. The audio has been on point, the actors around as well has been really funny, and really kind of, you know, immersing you into the storyline of Nemesis, really getting you involved. A lot of sort of crowd participation and stuff. The props, the helicopters, it's just been phenomenal. That eye as well, the centerpiece of the new creature, absolutely incredible. They've spent the money in this area of the park, and I look forward to how it's going to change even further in the months and years to come. What does feel a little bit out of place now, even more so than it did before, is Galactica. I'm really hoping that as part of the story, they'll say that kind of Nemesis is starting to take over the rest of Forbidden Valley, and that will get a retheme. However, that's going to be something in the much distant future. Of course, Alton Towers need to focus on their flat rise situation now, and then of course the much delayed Project Horizon will actually start over near the Alton Towers dungeon, and that's going to be one to watch over the next couple of years. Like I say, there are still some issues here with the park. Some rides were down today, and of course the Sky Ride, yeah, that's a real big shame. A lot of people unhappy about having to walk around a very sizable park, especially those with mobility issues. So the quicker that ride comes back, the better. Yes, I know it's going to be next season now, but yeah, it feels like it needs to be back quicker than that. Hex as well, like I say, still no opening date for that. Hopefully that will be sooner rather than later, and we can check out all those theming changes for that ride as well. But overall, aside from the weather, it's been a great day. Absolutely fantastic to get back on Nemesis again. I loved every second of that ride, of the queue line, and of this whole area. It really is absolutely awesome. So there you go, that finishes up my day here at the Alton Towers Resort, and the first full park vlog since Christmas. It's great that open season now for the theme parks here in the UK is now in full swing, and next weekend coming up we will be back at Thorpe Park. Lots to check out there as well, including all the Sparkle project changes, Big Easy Boulevard, and the latest update on obviously Hyperia construction, what used to be Project Exodus. Lots to check out there, so that will be next week right here on Adventure Planet. But from Alton Towers, I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy riding everybody. I'll see you at Thorpe Park.